You're listening to the Overcoming Daily podcast with Anna Johnson of sacredlifecoaching.com. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
Shalom! Welcome to episode 25 of Overcoming Daily with Anna Johnson. My name is Anna Johnson, and I am your Overcomer Coach. Today's Overcomer tidbit is this: the Overcomer guards their time. Do you guard your time? Do you manage your time in a way that glorifies God? Time is a gift that is given by God to His children to be utilized for His glory. Unfortunately, many of us fail to recognize that time is a gift and that gift is limited, meaning that eventually the clock is going to run out and then we're going to have to give an account for how we used our time. And when we do not use good management of our time, then we fail to overcome some of the things that we are called to overcome. Too often, I have seen children of God procrastinate in overcoming, or they have simply failed to use their time to overcome for God's glory. Let us remember that our time has a plan and purpose. When God created us, He created us with a plan, a purpose, a time to be born, and a time to die. And all of that time in the middle is for Him to be glorified, for us to grow in righteousness, and for us to overcome each and every battle that comes in our lives. And unfortunately, too many times people die without overcoming. Sometimes they die without overcoming because they have failed to utilize their time properly. And then sometimes people fail to overcome because they do not guard their time. Now, by guarding our time, what that means is that we say no to some things so that we can utilize our time to say yes to the right things. As a mother and an overcomer coach and a wife and a business owner and a child of God, I have learned that I have to utilize my time and guard my time in order to do all the things that God has called me to do. I'm a mother of 8 children and I'm still raising 6. And I have a husband who is also an entrepreneur that needs my support. And on top of that, I homeschool and I record this podcast and meet with clients and I'm writing a book. And in order to be effective for His kingdom, in order to overcome the challenges that come at me, not only do I have to utilize time, but I also have to guard my time. I cannot say yes to everything. There are things that I have to say no to, because if I say yes to everything, I just might be saying no to God's plan and purpose in my life. Unfortunately, what I've seen in the body of Messiah, at least in my circle, is that children of God are really failing to guard their time. They're saying yes to too many things, but they're not saying yes to the right things. A lot of times we're consumed with the things of this world, like watching Netflix or PureFlix or, socializing with friends, which there's nothing wrong with socializing. But there is something wrong when we do those things and they do not produce life or the things that we've been called to. Now, I want you to pause for a minute and ask yourself, do I know the purpose and plan that God has for my life? And am I utilizing my time to fulfill that? And then I want you to ask yourself, am I guarding my time? Guarding is it can be challenging to guard your time in this world. Sometimes even family will try to hijack your schedule. And, it may seem unkind to say no or unloving to say no, but let us not reject what God has called us to do in order that someone else may feel loved. If God has called you to overcome something, He wants you to utilize that time He has given you to work on overcoming. Now, a prime example of this is that a lot of times people don't guard their time. And because they don't guard their time, their marriages suffer, or their families suffer, or let's say they're a business owner, their businesses suffer. We have to guard our time. And we also have to utilize our time to work towards fulfilling the things that we've been called to do. Messiah understood this concept well. As a matter of fact, his life radiates that. We see in John chapter 2, verse 4, where Christ says to his mother, Mary, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." We see throughout the Gospels where Messiah is talking about time and how he manages his time. And we see him very focused in his time management. Messiah knew the plan and purpose of his time here on earth, and he utilized those limited number of days here to overcome for God's glory. Overcome. We see him going from city to city. He guarded his time and the mission by not allowing people to grab hold of him and keep him within the city, but that he could go from city to city. We see here in John chapter 7, verse 8, where Messiah says, "You go up to the feast. I'm not going up to this feast, for my time is not yet fully come." So once again, we see Messiah guarding his time and utilizing his time in a way that fulfills the plan and purpose that God has for his life. Now, God has a plan for your life. And that plan is for you to overcome daily. That means overcoming the challenges, wrestling out the things that you need to wrestle out, that your life fully glorifies him. So I want you to take a moment and pause and repent and ask God to forgive you for any time you didn't guard your time and for any time you didn't utilize your time in a way that fulfills his plan and purpose in your life. And then I want you to take an inventory of things that you need to do to guard your time. Think about people that may try to hijack your time. Think about even habits that hijack your time. And then get focused and guard your time and utilize it for God's glory. As children of God, there are a lot of things that we just do not have time for. One of the things that I tell myself I don't have time for is foolishness, and for distraction, and for carnal things, and for depression or self-pity or anxiety or things of that nature. I don't have time for those things. Those things slow me down. So I wrestle to overcome anything that tries to slow me down and try to take me off course of the plan that God has for my life. We also do not have time for chaos and confusion and for strife. We do not have time for those things. God has a plan and purpose for our lives, and we need to focus our eyes on him and the call and the mission that he has given us. And part of that call and mission is that we are called to overcome daily. We don't have time for excuses. We really have a mission that we only have a certain amount of days to fulfill. So let us stay focused. One of the ways that I remind myself and recenter myself and recenter my focus is I just do inventory of what the things that I don't have time for. And so when I see those things, I instantly say, I don't have time for distraction. I don't have time for foolishness. Whatever those things are, go ahead and think what it is that you don't have time for. Put some things on your list that you just don't have time for. And when they surface, you can prompt yourself to refocus by saying, I don't have time for such and such, whatever that thing is. Let us turn to 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Hallelujah. So this is what we want to be able to say at the end of the course of our life is that I have fought the good fight. Some of you listening right now may have not been fighting the good fight. You may be wrestling with the wrong things or entertaining the wrong things. Let us fight the good fight. Let us utilize our time for God's glory. Let us conclude with prayer. Father, I thank you for each and every listener. Father, I pray that you have mercy and that you forgive all of us. Father, forgive us for every time that we were distracted. Forgive us for every time that we did not guard the time that you have given us. We thank you for the number of days that you have given us in this life, Father, to overcome for your glory. Father, I pray that each and every listener will develop a stronger sense of the plan and purpose that you have for their life. Father, I pray that they will develop an understanding that they are called to overcome daily and that they do not let the enemy have any victory in their life, but that you prevail, that your righteousness prevails, Father, in and through each and every situation. So, Father, I thank you for the listeners. I thank you for day 25 of this podcast, Father, and I pray that you will bless each and every podcast. In the mighty name of Yeshua, I pray and thank you. Hallelujah. This concludes episode 25 of Overcoming Daily with Anna Johnson. I hope that you have an overcomer day. I am cheering and praying for you. Shalom.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Overcoming Daily with Anna Johnson. Tune in again next time where Anna will continue to give you tips for overcoming daily. And to stay updated, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. You are an overcomer. You're called to overcome. And if you found value in this episode, please share it on social. Sign up for a free coaching session with Anna Johnson at sacredlifecoaching.com. Until next time, have an overcomer day. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you'll have tribulation. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.